Welcome everyone to the Sentinel's Week 6 high school football preview video. I'm Chris Hopkins. I'm here with reporter Dave Rung. We're going to break down some of this week's action for you guys. We'll start game of the week this week. A little bit of a crosstown rival, I guess you could say. It's Carlisle at Cumberland Valley. A bit of a David versus Goliath matchup, I'd say.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think it kind of always has been, at least for the last couple of decades there, that Cumberland Valley has really been one of the dominant forces in the Mid-Penn. But yeah, even more so this year. You have a team that's 0-5, up to what I believe a 16-game losing streak. Carlisle's at now, and you have what's becoming more and more every week a vintage Cumberland Valley team that can kind of grind you down with the run, plays tough defense, solid on special teams, and that's what Cumberland Valley showed last week against Chambersburg. They were able to run the ball. Tyler Updegraff with 120 on the ground. Tyler Heisey, 3 touchdowns from less than 3 yards out, so being the battering ram that he usually is. And one thing I definitely liked last week is quarterback Chris Galbraith. He was only 3 of 6, he had to throw 3 passes, but all 3 passes that he completed were in really big situations on third down. The first one went, was probably about 45 yards on their first drive to complete, get a first down, take them down close to the end zone. And then another one was a 37-yarder or something like that on fourth down that actually ended up going for a touchdown. So he's, he hasn't been called on yet, and there's still times that eventually he will need to be called on, and he'll step up. I don't know if it'll be this week against Carlisle, but he's been looking good, and so is their defense. Like I said, it's really kind of rounding into form to a vintage Cumberland Valley team.
We've seen kind of 2 sides to this new Carlisle wing T offense.
Right.
In the first 2 weeks we've talked about how they really showed that they're improving and everything, and then maybe a bit of a drop off over the last 3 weeks.
Right.
Is that what's going to be the difference for Carlisle in keeping this game close to that run game, or?
Yeah, I think they're going to have to. They're going to have to control the ball. Cumberland Valley will.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to try to have it for 30 of the 48 minutes, or even more. They're going to try to run the ball. I said in the preview that don't be scared to run it 60 times for Cumberland Valley. Just stick with that bread and butter, grind them down, and on paper they should be able to win that. But yeah, Carlisle, they'll definitely need to have their own version of the wing T that Coach Josh Oswald kind of took from his days at Cumberland Valley. They're going to need to get that running game going and definitely take the pressure off of Billy Berger, because he's going to have to complete some passes for them to stay in this game.
It's going to be a tough challenge,
definitely.
That's for sure. I mean, for Carlisle just to stay in this game against a CB team who last week against Chambersburg, you saw it's just showing how good that team can be, despite another overhaul there. So we're going to have Jeff Kaufman will be covering that game. Dave, you will be with our new Sentinel reporter, Jake Adams, kind of showing on the ropes a little bit.
Hopefully.
You guys will be at Boiling Springs at Camp Hill, and we'll have Chris Johnson will be covering East Pennsboro at Trinity. So be sure to stay tuned. Dave's at DRung18, and Sentinel High School Football Twitter account for all updates throughout the rest of the Sentinel area. Thanks for listening.